you want to give some context to this sketchbook?
I take it with me anywhere. I take it on traveling. Like, I basically just, whatever is interesting, I try to sketch. Of course, if you're around friends, then you should be considerate and also say, like, I'll take a picture of this and sketch it later. But sometimes there are moments that I really want to sketch something. Caveat, I do want the first page to look nice, so I took a lot of these markers as well, which are the Tombow markers, water-based markers.
Yeah.
They don't bleed through. So those are on top of this. But you can still see that I'm trying to do that energy first, and then I can correct it later.
It's always really cool seeing the underdrawings for stuff that you do, because it is really loose and sketchy and messy, but then you do put a lot of effort to make everything look nice and aesthetic.
Thick outlines, like, this is actually not a ball pen on the outside. This is the black marker.
Okay, cool.
You go around it, like, make it really thick. Yeah. So this was my first class, actually. I did 3 semesters now at Art Center. This was my first class of the first semester, and I forgot to book models. And when I said, let's try to draw something, there was no model, so that somebody had to, like, sit there.
Yeah. Obviously the cat isn't there, but this person getting up in that pose, they weren't doing that the whole time. You know,
no. Or you think about composition a lot as well. Like, this person wasn't probably standing there, and I just put her there because I just felt better.
Right. I think something that a lot of people struggle with is that idea of having a nice looking sketchbook.
So on purposely, I wanted this sketchbook to be nice. We're going to go later over this one, and it has some much looser, like, see, I didn't even fill, like, the drawings aren't even complete, and there's a lot of figure drawings, so it's a lot more looser in that sense.
Again, that's observational and more sketches, and this is like finished illustrations and like practicing style, right?
It's more me having fun. Like, for instance, here, that's the class as well, and I just draw a tiger there, like, smudging a lot as always, so don't touch it, it's disgusting. And the way you see these little smudges is not Copic, it actually is kind of gross. I take my finger, I wet it, and then I rub the ballpoint pen, and you get a darker value. Here's the Tombow markers again. This was in Peru when I saw some horses, so I just sketched the horses in very quickly. And then afterwards, I made this out of that.
Like, people would love to do this kind of stuff where they're inventing shapes and making like a full-on illustration. But it starts out with that like loose, rough sketch of just putting ideas down and kind of letting yourself figure it out.
Figured it out, yeah.
Figured it out, yeah.
Oh my god. So this was again in Peru on the horses, and I did a quick sketch. I didn't finish this while I was on the horse. Like, you can see that there's a looser sketch underneath there. So I tried to get the proportions and the main shapes there, but then finish it later.
I always find it interesting looking at people who do both academic art and more like illustration sketchbook. You know, it's like the more academic stuff is more accurate, but it's less creative.
Yeah, that's like, this sketchbook is kind of more boring to me, because there's just live drawing where I'm just trying to study, but it's as important. Like here on the airplane, for example, here I wanted to get a different perspective. I always trying to get a new angle on a plane, so I stood up and stand in the lane so I can draw something differently. She didn't exist. So I just drew her on top of this. Right. To create more overlap. Yeah, I think you see these little feet here? I think there was a kid sleeping there. Yeah. And even if you don't draw everything as perfect, it doesn't matter. Try to capture the scene. Like, this isn't the best hand I ever drew. This isn't the best profile I've ever drawn. I find it always more intimidating to draw one character. If there's something wrong with the one character, you'll notice it. But if you draw an entire scene, then it's more about the scene, and then you're more forgiving to having little mistakes here and there. So in a way, I know it sounds crazy, it's less intimidating to do something like this than to draw one character for me.
Rembert's new Ultimate Sketching course is now on Proko. Learn how to sketch on location and bring a sense of story and life to your drawings. Go take a look at proko.com/Rembert. And during our Black Friday sale, you'll get 20% off any courses, brush packs, and everything on Proko. The sale is good through December 4th, so don't miss out.
Well, if we were to go through and overlay an exact perspective grid and try to look for correct anatomy, we would find a lot of mistakes, right? But again, it's all about like the vibes. Yeah. You were telling me that you initially train as an animator. Yes. You know, in training as an animator, it's like you are forced to do thousands and thousands of drawings.
Like even now, storyboarding I still animate a lot in my boards. Yeah. This is another art center class where I got tired of drawing the class in normal perspective. What if I just mess around with it? That's what I was trying to do here. What if the gravity turned off in the class and everything started to float and I'm looking below at it?
This is not accurate drawing.
No, it's not.
It's not to get an accurate, it's not, you're not like you're measuring or anything. You're just like, what does this feel right? Does this feel wrong? You know?
Like they gave a musician a track without their instrument and I had to fill it in.
Yeah.
And he ended it saying, it was probably wrong, but it felt great to me.
Right.
I thought like, wow. I think that's how you should approach drawing as well. It's probably wrong, but it felt great to me. I drew a drawing and I thought it was crappy. So I just took it and I started drawing the class. And at first it feels kind of awkward to draw over something.
Right.
But now you just look at it and it's sort of like, oh, it looks like I almost drew this on top of the other one.
Intentionally, yeah, you're right. We've talked about jazz before,
yeah.
or like music and how, or even improv and how a lot of this sort of drawing is like yes and, or, you know, responding to the bass player when you're playing the saxophone in a jazz band or something.
You're playing with yourself in a way that sounds weird.
Yeah.
It sounds weird out of context, but I just said it so I can't take it back. So.
Yeah. If you make a mistake, you just move on and just keep going, you know, and it's something that I think is a skill that you have to practice because I think so much just trying to draw correctly might make it difficult to be maybe more improvisational with stuff. More like drawing, with a brush pen, it looks like. Yeah,
this one was, the day before Lightbox actually, because I was going to do like a big drawing and I wanted to do it in brush pen because if you're going to draw big, obviously a ball pen is going to take forever. And I was thinking like, I got to get warmed up with a brush pen. So there is no underdrawing here.
Just going straight into it.
Straight into it. Yeah. I don't mind if the students talk a lot, so you can see it here. But the model kept looking at me like, and I was like, what's wrong? And suddenly he said, can you guys shut up?
No, man.
And nobody dared to talk anymore, including me. And he felt guilty about it afterwards. Like, you can still talk a little bit, you know, but he said it in such a commanding way that I was like, ugh. So that's why I remember the story when I drew it.
Right.
And she always had her tongue out, so I tried to like put that in there when she's drawing that. There's nothing wrong with having your tongue out.
Nothing wrong with
because I use it a lot for my smudging. So
that's it.
Way on the way, like I'm just I'll smudge you. This is a red brush pen.
Nice. Cool.
I was just experimenting, like, what if it's completely red?
One of Craig Mullen's interviews, and he was talking about how he starts his process differently every time. Like, he tries not to do it the same, just to like let himself figure out problems and challenges. And
only I don't do it intentionally. Actually, I did an Ivan Bernetti challenge with Marshall on the Proko channel, like a live. And we had to draw a box in different time without noticing it. Every time there was like a shorter time period that I could draw the thing, I did a different approach.
Right.
I think because I storyboard so much, like unconsciously, I developed a lot of methods to start something. And it's true with these ones. I just start with the thing that's most interesting to me. In the foreground. Yeah. Because you have to start with things in the foreground, because if you draw something in the background, you can't put anything in the foreground anymore. Right. So it's free work from the foreground to the background.
I think Kim Jong-gi talked about doing something similar where if he doesn't know what to draw, he just starts drawing a person or like a head.
Something.
And then just build off from there.
Yeah.
It is cool how you're rendering the arms as more like cylinders versus like anything else.
Yeah, simplified. These are the Tombow markers again. And here I thought it was fun to just put in the skin tones. Yeah. And I just wanted a color that makes him stand out. And actually interesting how finished the image feels with only the skin tones.
Right.
Like it's almost like your imagination fills in the other colors that aren't there.
As long as it's close enough, people will kind of assume the rest.
And this is what my class, when I graded them, I wanted to remember their faces. So I drew all of them. But I just thought it was nicer to do ball pen, that I can do some blue Tombow and then it feels more cohesive. Because ball pen is always looked upon as something more cheap. And here I just was more quick. I could have gone in and rendered them more, but I was like, actually, this feels nice.
Yeah. It feels kind of like a New Yorker sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little more sketchy.
Yeah, with graphic as well. And
yeah, because there's no shading really except here underneath.
Oh, here's, so Rembert and I put together a course on ballpoint pen sketching where he goes through this, like his whole process step by step. And it is obviously Jinx and Vi from Arcane.
Yeah.
And League of Legends, duking it out.
So it has perspective. It has the use of the colors from the ball pen as depth, as the smudginess of each color. So we'll go over that in the course.
Cool seeing like the green as like the mid-ground color, the red is the background and the blue is the foreground. Like if it was only one color, I think
I could go in with black and do the outlines actually, but I just made the blue outlines so thick. This is just pure ball pen. This is all done with, I don't know if it was this one, but like one like this.
Yeah. For anyone that is wanting to learn how to sketch, you really don't need expensive materials.
No. So this is like when I'm on the plane, I just paused the movie. I think all in all, this took me eight hours.
Yeah. The whole page?
Yeah.
I found that like one of the bigger things for me is not like finding the perfect reference, or just like maintaining the motivation and the inspiration to keep drawing fun, you know?
Yeah. These things are very tedious though. I don't start when I do these with a mannequin actually.
Really?
No, I just start here.
Kind of building it out piece by piece.
It's like I look at it and then I measure. Because if I draw from imagination, sure. I mean, like these ones are quicker, so but like here, it doesn't really matter that much because you're just trying to get a vibe. Yeah. If you're really trying to get a person, and it's pretty hard because it's ball pen, but it's also the fun, the challenge about it. From the orbital here, what does that look like? And I try to get that. And then next to it, and then I measure this distance between that distance. Oh, the upper eyelid is the same distance from here as this little part from here. Well, like I just build it like
piece by piece.
Piece by piece.
I did that course with Morgan Weisling, the Painting Without a Brain one. And in it, he talks about that being his whole process, where it's all just about, he'll paint with a grid or draw with a grid, and they'll just base everything off comparative shapes versus constructing. And his whole thing is, it's like if you draw Andrew Loomis heads all the time, every single head you draw is
will look like an Andrew. Like if I draw a head from imagination, it's going to look like a head I draw from imagination. I drew this in the cafe when I was there. The Flater in Belgium. Shout out.
Cool likeness on this person.
Yeah, sometimes I just like,
screw it. Yeah.
But a lot of hatching here. Here's when I'm out with my friends in a bar eating a sandwich at like 3 a.m. So this was literally drawn when I was out in the night at 3 a.m. So that's why it's so wonky.
Yeah, that's sick.
And they just stood there and was like, draw us like this. I was like, all right.
Draw me like one of your Belgian boys.
Yeah. On the tram with a brush pen. I know the tram, it was a train from Brussels to Paris. I remember the day. It's actually funny to go through the book because I remember that day. And I talked to them afterwards. I showed them the drawing. Yeah. She was the mom. She was sleeping, like with the coat over her head. Now I remember everything when I look at it. It's actually really powerful. It's like hearing a piece of music and I'm remembering.
Yeah.
It's like a diary almost. This was in January 25. And I remember distinctively standing there outside because I couldn't go in because it was fully booked. And in the line there, somebody recognized me from Proko.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like in the middle of Paris when I was sketching these statues. That was surreal. Yes.
Yeah. It's sort of a weird thing existing online, is that?
Yeah, because you're just in my room. I'm just in my room most of the time. I don't even know.
The act of doing it when you were doing it when you were 5 years old and doing it now is the exact same.
It's the same.
Yeah.
I think when I was 6, they're charming. And when you go 13 to like 20, then they're just cringe. Yes. You're trying to
figure it out.
Without having technique, you're trying to draw things that need technique. Yeah. Well, as a kid, you're just drawing pure, like
emotion.
Yeah. The thing is, once you get the technique, then you can go back to the kid brain and it's not going to look as cringe.
Yeah.
Hopefully. That is from the course. And the reason why I put a grid here is because I was thumbnailing this out here. Yeah. This was a thumbnail and you can see me put on the fisheye here. Yeah. And then to add something extra that is Centaurette waitress.
You do your quick land and then you look up just for a little inspiration and little to pull from, but then you just keep going back and forth.
Yes. It's on a plane again to San Francisco. Obviously, like the plane moved, shaked, and it's
they incorporate it.
Yeah,
that's cool though.
Literally, was in the schedule. I never finished this one. She was like, that's Lightspeed at GDC, the studio that I work for, and I put the characters of the game here as well. Lightspeed Studios.
Right.
I think a girl drew this in my book. It's like I can draw you, so this is me.
Uncanny, honestly. Yeah, uncanny.
This was drawn on a plane as well from a movie still. I think it was a Hitchcock film. I kind of liked it, so I was trying to like recreate with a ball pen and black ink and a lot of saliva to spread it.
This drawing looks super impressive. You know, it looks really cool and it looks finished, but it all starts with the mannequinization and all the stuff, like all this simple life drawing. Like everything here is just like responding to just primitive shapes. Like this is, you're thinking of the cube or the rectangle.
Yes, it's basically a cube. But it's from a picture, so I cheat. But it's drawn on a plane. Took me also like 9 hours. After 9 hours, you're just like, I hate these f***ing trees. I hate this drawing. But I gotta finish it. So
yeah, like we were hanging out with some people, and when you flip to this page, everyone seems to usually be pretty impressed.
Well, it's just rendering. Yeah. It's like I could have taken any one of them to this. It's just because I'm trapped on a plane.
Yeah.
These are my grandparents.
Oh, cool.
We always tell them that they should get a nanny. And so I drew a nanny.
Life-size head. Did you draw this first and then that second? Or?
Yeah. Like I drew that first and I was like, I gotta use the rest of this page. So my friend's playing Magic. I drew that first, but I was like, I don't like that drawing. So I move on. So it's like a little dog here. Out biking in Malibu, I think.
Yeah. Okay,
There were some cyclers there.
Yeah.
Mario was longboarding down a hill and the police came to us and said it was illegal.
Yeah.
So I had to stand there while they were talking to the police, and then the cyclists stopped.
Yeah.
This is in Cusco when Mario went to see a fortune teller with coca leaves.
Right.
And I was sitting outside with a driver. But here again, Moleskine text.
Yeah.
But I try to just take a moment that is so... There's a lot of banality to it because we're just sitting on a construction site.
Yeah.
Waiting in this little house he was sitting, and he was just on his phone watching soccer. Like, I remember all of this. So that is from start to finish, entirely filled.
Nice.
If you want more from his ultimate sketching course, go to Proko.com/Rembert. If you've seen his work storyboarding for Riot Games, and you want to know more about his sketching process, go check it out. And during our Black Friday sale, you'll get 20% off any courses, brush packs, and everything on Proko. The sale is good through December 4th, so don't miss out.